welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hello, everybody. This is Evelyn Hershkowitz, Reader Services Librarian from the Syosset Public Library. And this is the Turn the Page podcast. And today we're with Ashley Poston, the author of The 7-Year Slip. This is her sophomore adult book. Her first adult book was called The Dead Romantics, which was named one of the 100 notable books of 2022 by the New York Times. And also Good Morning. It was a Good Morning America pick. Now, this book, The 7-Year Slip, is a most anticipated book by Entertainment Weekly, Harper's Bazaar, Pop Sugar, Real Simple, Book List, and more. That is fabulous. Thank you, Ashley, so much for being with us. I loved this book so much. It was such a feel-good story. I just felt upbeat and happy while I was reading it.
Thank you. Yeah, when you were listing all of those things, I was like, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, yeah, it was in that one too.
Very exciting, especially for your sophomore book, which is your second adult novel. I know you've written plenty of YA.
Yes.
And now...
now my second adult book, and it was so hard to write.
Oh, well, you did a great job because I loved it.
Thank you.
You want to tell everybody what it's about?
Of course, I would love to. The 7-Year Slip is when an overworked book publicist inherits her late aunt's Upper East Side apartment. She finds herself falling for her unexpected roommate, a man who lives quite literally 7 years in the past.
Okay. Her aunt did warn her, though, that the apartment was magical.
She did warn her, but Clementine just didn't listen. Right. Could you blame her, though?
No, I mean... But she told her two things: take your shoes off at the door and don't fall in love in this apartment.
Don't fall in love. That was a key. And she broke it within like the first week of staying at that apartment.
Oh my God. It was just, how did you come up with this idea? It was great.
I really wanted to write a story about love and how love grows and changes as you grow and change, because you aren't the person you were 7 years ago. And you're not going to be the person you will be in 7 years. And the same with like love and relationships as well. To be with someone for like a long period of time in your life, you have to grow and change with them. So I wanted to write a story kind of about that. And to do that, I came up with the gimmick of the apartment. And I was like, well, what if the apartment was like this liminal space where time just kind of bends together like a book? So she could meet someone who she could meet today, but he would be a different person 7 years ago, and she falls in love with that person instead of like the person in her timeline. So I wanted to explore that, and it was very fun.
It was fun. Was it hard though to keep it, when you're talking about what's going on now and what happened 7 years ago? Was that hard to keep track of, or?
Oh, absolutely. I was really nervous doing a time travel story because right. I am not very organized when it comes to timelines. So my editor, Amanda Bergeron, she's fantastic. She kept me on track. And also like the copy editors caught things, and my readers, like it really does take a village to raise a book. So it wasn't just me, it was me and a whole army of people who kept it in line.
Yeah, no, it was great. It makes you feel, it's a great beach read because it makes you feel good. It really does. It's just a nice summer read, great story, romance, rom-com or romance. What would you say?
I would say rom-com. Okay. I think I write kind of quirky heroines that kind of lean towards the comedy. Okay. So
it would be a good movie.
So it'd be a fun movie.
I think it would be a really good movie. So who would play Clementine?
Ooh, I'm not sure, but for some reason, Anya Taylor-Joy is stuck in my head. I saw her in The Menu, and I think she'd be a fun Clementine. Okay. As for Ewan, I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
maybe the
sounds
guy who
perfect,
plays
so.
thank you. Maybe the guy who plays the chef in The Bear.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's great. I think he would be a
Jeremy.
fantastic. Yes. Yeah.
Jeremy. I can't think of, he's got 3 names, right? Can't think
Yeah.
of the name off the top of my head, but yeah, he was great. He was Lip
Very much so.
in
And
oh my God, everything's slipping my mind right now. In that fabulous other show. That was great.
yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I like him.
And
I like
I think
him a
he'd
lot.
be like, funny enough to
Yeah.
play you and
Yeah.
also serious enough to play James. So.
Right. Well, it's the same character, but 7 years
7 years
apart.
apart.
Right.
Exactly.
It does 7 years make a very big difference in this book. There's no doubt about that. So you said you're not a planner, you're more of a fly by the seat of my pants writer?
Most of the time, when I have a deadline looming, I try to like plot out the big set pieces, and then I see what happens between them. I always know the ending going into a book like this because like the ending makes a romance, right? You have to stick the landing or else it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So I always know the ending going into a romance, and I know like how it's going to end, but it's just getting there. That's the puzzle pieces. You got to put them together.
Right. So is anybody in this book, anybody you know? Is it based on?
Ooh, no, I don't think so. The ant is based off of. Oh yeah, the ant is based off of a few of my family members.
Okay.
I do have an aunt who does love to travel and who instilled the travel bug in me. She's still alive though. I have to
good.
preface that.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes. And otherwise, I used to work in publishing, and I used to live in New York City as well.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted to write kind of a love letter to the city, kind of as like an outsider, because I love like so many things about summer in the city, but also summer in the city is kind of terrible at the same time. But yeah, so I wanted to like put my best memories into this book, and also the best parts of publishing into this book as well, and also like the not best parts. So a lot of my colleagues might have like glimpses of themselves in the book, but no, I don't really base anyone like one for one off of people that I know.
Well, Clementine's boss was a great person. Normally, you don't have such great bosses.
I know. Usually,
very nice.
I have to say the boss was 100% modeled after modeled after like my boss.
Oh, okay.
She was fantastic. Alona, you're great.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, you were lucky to have such a great boss.
Oh yeah, we still keep in touch. So.
Oh, nice. That's nice. So did you give up working in publishing to become an author full time?
I did. I was a marketing designer in publishing, and then things happened with my family back home in South Carolina, and I realized I wanted to be there with my family while they were going through some things. So I asked my agent. I was like, "Hey, do you think I could do this full time?" And this was back in 2016, and my agent was like, yeah, I think it's going to be a little hard. You might have to do more than one book a year for a while, but I think you can do it. So that's what I did.
Okay. And that's when you were writing YA.
Yeah, that's when I was writing YA, and I did 2 books a year for about 3 years. And then last year, and then in 2021, I didn't have any books out. And then 2022, I had Dead Romantics. And this year I have 3 books out. So
wow. Well, give a shout out to your other books.
So my other 2 books are coming out later this year. They're both from Disney. One is a Buffy prequel to our fan favorite Tara McClay. And then in October, I have a Marvel book coming out about Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye. So
very nice. Good for you.
Thank you. And then after that, it's 1 book a year for the rest of eternity.
And those will be adult books mostly, do you think? Or
think so, unless there's like a story that draws that, really calls my name. I think I think I found my home for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy you did because I think that's great. Somebody on Goodreads even said that they think you should just always write adult books. They were so thrilled. Do you read your reviews?
Absolutely not.
No. Well, I just want to let you know on Goodreads, since you don't read them, you're at a 4.43 stars out of 5
Wow.
for this book, which
Wow.
is really high.
That
It's
is that
that,
is very high.
yeah. You might want to go and read them because it's good.
So like the reason why I don't read reviews is not because I have a very thick skin. Kirkus like made sure I had a very
Okay.
thick skin early on when they called one of my books angst-ridden backstory and deeply regrettable prose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I embroidered that on a pillow, and
Did you? That's great.
yeah, so the reason I don't read reviews is because that's a reader community. It's not really an author community, and I don't want to invade like that space and that community that's supposed to be safe for readers.
Mhm.
Same with like book talk too. I don't participate in book talk. I don't participate in like Bookstagram really. I try to keep myself away from it because that's really not my place anymore as an author. So I want my readers to like just feel safe and know that I'm not looking over their shoulder, basically. So
Okay. Yeah, no, I like to keep track of all my books on Goodreads, so that's why I see it all. So,
I did too for the longest time,
mhm.
and now I have a spreadsheet.
Okay. Well, just
So
know 4.43 stars is certainly fabulous. So,
that's lovely.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
It's a really good thing. So, are you going on tour with this book? Are you able to?
Yeah, I am. I'm just going to 3 bookstores. I'm going to M. Judson in Greenville, South Carolina, on the 27th, and then I'm flying out to St. Louis to go to Novel Neighbor on the 28th, and then I'm going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio at Joseph Beth Booksellers on the 29th.
Oh,
And then I'm
well.
going to come home and cry into my pillow for a week.
Why? You'll have a great tour.
I I know I will. It's gonna be like happy tears.
Oh,
It's not gonna
okay.
be sad tears.
Okay. Are you doing any other virtual things?
I think I might have an Instagram live on the 29th,
Okay.
and we'll see what else comes up. Who knows?
So the book comes out on June 27th,
27th.
which is
Mhm.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's
It's
nice. For all of our listeners, it'll be available on Overdrive, Libby, and also we'll have a print copy. So if you want to
Mhm.
put a hold on it, it's called The 7-Year Slip. Same place, different time, it says, because it takes place 7 years. Well, yes and no.
Yeah, I mean kinda.
Yeah, yes and no. It's time travel. It's definitely some sort of time travel.
It's time travel, but it's easy time travel.
Right, because she's still in the present,
Mhm.
even though he's in the past, right? Am
Yeah,
I
yeah.
getting that right?
She just ends up like going into an apartment that sometimes travels back in time.
Right. It's the
But
apartment that travels.
yeah, it's the apartment. It's like the TARDIS in Doctor Who. It
Okay.
travels.
Right. It's great. And the apartment sounds like a great apartment too on the upper
Upper East Side.
side.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it does. It's like my dream apartment, really, because
Mhm.
I lived in a bunch of really terrible
Does
apartments when
that
I
building
lived.
exist that you made that's in the book or?
It doesn't actually. I wish it existed, but it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
actually exist,
Okay.
sadly.
Did anything in this book really exist or is it all a figment of your imagination?
Well, Washington Square Park exists.
Okay.
Um, but otherwise the restaurants they go to and the food trucks are based off of real places
Okay.
in New York that I visited that I would eat at, but they're not one for one.
Right. Well, they went to the Culinary Institute. That exists.
Yes, that does exist.
That does exist. So they did go there. And, I love all the characters. Like everything about this book was just so positive and so wonderful. I just loved it all.
Thank
I
you
just
very
did.
much.
I did. I just thought it was so great. Are you working on another adult book right now?
I am. It comes out next summer, but I'm not sure how much I can talk about it yet because it
Okay.
hasn't been announced. So
Okay. That's good. That's
yeah, so like you will get another one from me. Don't worry.
good. I'm glad. And I have to go. I have to apologize. I haven't gotten to the Dead Romantics. It has been on my list for so long, but I haven't gotten to it yet. What is that one about, the Dead Romantics?
The Dead Romantics is about a ghostwriter for a very famous romance novelist who must return to her family's funeral home to bury her late father, only to find herself haunted by the ghost of her very hot and very dead editor.
Oh, okay. It sounds good. I definitely want to read it. It is on the list, like I said.
It has a happy ending, don't worry.
Okay. Well, I guess all your books will have happy endings, right?
Yeah, they're all romances, and
Mhm.
I'm under the strict rule that a good romance has a happy ending, or at least a
Right.
happy for now.
Right, absolutely. We like those happy endings, especially after the pandemic. That just,
Oh yeah.
you want to be happy.
You want some kind of like joy in your life. You want to
Yes.
feel like things matter, you know?
Yeah. So a lot of times, well, because this book I read it in advance before it came out, I wasn't able to find the audiobook. Sometimes I can. This one I wasn't able to.
Mhm.
Do you have a say in who you picked for the audiobook?
I had a choice between five narrators,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I would put them in order of who I wanted first, second, third, fourth, and then they would go to those narrators and they would see what their schedules were, and if the schedules aligned, then like they would choose them. Luckily, I got my first pick,
Oh,
Brittany
great.
Presley. She's
Who's
fantastic.
the first one? What's her name?
Brittany Presley.
Okay.
Apparently, the audiobook is fantastic.
Yeah.
You can get it on Libro FM
Mm-hmm.
early. So
Okay, yeah. I don't seem to be able to connect to Libro FM. So
oh no.
yeah, I have a problem with that for some reason. But I am getting others from some of the other places that let librarians get it early, but I was not able to find this. So I actually read it, which is fine. But I would love to hear the audio. She does both male and female voices. She does both.
Mhm. And
Okay.
apparently she does a really good even like voice, a very good Southern accent.
Oh,
So
okay. I've definitely got to listen to it because I'm sure it's pretty sexy, his voice, right?
oh, absolutely.
Because he sounds wonderful.
He
He does.
does.
Yeah, he really does. He sounds wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I'm passing it on to my niece. She'll love it also. So,
Oh, excellent. I
yes,
really hope she likes it.
yeah, definitely. So, what's your writing life like? When do you write?
I write whenever I can, usually. I used to have a set schedule, but then I got off of it at the beginning of the year and I just haven't gotten back to it yet. Usually I will edit in the mornings and I will write in the afternoons, but now I just write whenever I can.
Okay. So, how many hours a day do you find that you're writing?
It really all depends on whether or not I'm on deadline or not. So if I'm on deadline, I can like write up to 10 hours a day,
Oh
which is
my
not healthy.
gosh,
I do not recommend it.
that's a lot.
Um, it is a lot. I'm also a very, very quick writer, so I can write a book in a month. I like not a finished book, just like a rough draft, and then I have to edit it and re-edit it and probably rewrite it again.
Right.
But I'm a pretty fast drafter. So
Wow. So, what's the deadline for this book coming up?
the deadline is July 15th, and it's an edit because
Oh,
I've already finished writing it. So I just have to go in and do a little maintenance work,
oh
basically.
wow. That's pretty soon though.
Yeah,
I don't want to
it's
scare
really
you.
soon.
I don't want to scare you, but July 15th will be here before we know it.
It's right around the
Yeah, I
corner.
guess you'll be
And
putting in 10-hour days, huh?
you know what? The edits aren't that bad, so I'm
Okay.
not all that worried.
Okay, good. Good for you. I guess you found your profession, huh?
I did. I've always wanted to be a writer ever
Oh,
since I
wow.
was like a little tiny kid who because I was a voracious reader. And so I when I found out that you could be a writer as a profession, I was like, yeah, I want to do that and I want to be a marine biologist.
Oh,
I
okay.
was dead set on swimming with dolphins. And then I realized I was pretty bad at science. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, I guess I'll just be a writer. I guess that's it.
What'd you major in college?
I majored in English and I
Okay.
minored in advertising and media arts.
Okay, so you're fulfilling both of those majors.
Yeah, somehow I am.
That's wonderful.
Thank
Really,
you.
really wonderful. Oh, and I'm just looking at the cover and I see the pigeons on there, right?
Yeah, the
Mhm.
pigeons, M and F.
I love their names.
Their names are really good. We can't say them aloud, I don't think,
No,
but
but yeah, their names are great. The aunt named them that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're great names. I have to say, I really, really enjoy. It's very, very clever book.
Thank you.
Very, very clever book. Wow. Do you write at home? Did you ever like hang out at coffee shops and stuff like that before the pandemic, or are you just an at-home writer?
Before the pandemic, I used to go to my local coffee shop all the time. But since the pandemic, I've really become a homebody writer. Sad to say. I also write really well when I'm on a plane going somewhere.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So I get all my best writing done when I'm sitting beside a stranger who is like looking over my shoulder, watching me write the sex scenes. So
That's funny. Wow. That's okay. Any of your other author friends say the same thing, that they get the best writing done on a plane?
probably not. I'm weird.
Well, keep up the weird work because I'm loving it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to close this chapter of Turn the Page. We want to thank Ashley Poston. Am I pronouncing your name right?
It's Poston, but I
Poston.
understand why people say Poston because it looks like Boston.
Right,
I
right.
get it.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
either
I
way.
apologize. We want to thank her so much, and her book comes out on June 27th. So everybody call in, come in, put it on hold. You won't be sorry. You'll love it. It's going to be a great summer read. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Ashley. I really appreciate speaking with you.
Of course, this has been a delight. Thank you for having
Okay.
me.
And I'll be happy to have you back next year when next summer's book comes out.
Absolutely. I would love to be back.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Okay. Good luck with the book.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.